Hey, you ever been to Chancellor Park? That's where I live. My name is Tavin Dillard. I live in Chancellor Park. I mow lawns, mowing, edging, grass cutting legend. I sure am glad to join me here on this podcast. I want to let you know what's going on in my neck of the woods. Now, I started out years ago on the YouTubes and then the TikToks and the Instagrams now and the whatnots. I got the websites, the tavindillard.com, but right now, I want to clue you into what's happening in my neck of the woods on the Tavin Dillard podcast. You here? I'm here. I'm glad you joined me. Now I'm going to send it over to myself. This is like the pre-introduction, but let's get on to the real show today. I'm glad you joined me here. Bank, bank. Hey, y'all guys. I'm Tavin Dillard. Welcome to the Tavin Dillard podcast. We season 10s, episode 12s. Boy, we well into season 10 now. You think about well into the summer times. If you're listening to this today, on the day it come out, then you know it's July 23rd. And boy, some of y'all, depending on where you live, you heading back to school soon, or you might have just started. I can't believe that. It's still summertime for me. Y'all guys, I think of summertime, I just put it back to when I was a kid. And buddy, I wasn't even thinking about school in July yet. Not a second of it. Buddy, it's still hitting the water, cannonballing, trying to make sure Mabel Childress and Mima don't end up in the same place together. The only place we know they're going to end up together is that water aerobics class down at the city pool. But the fact that they both got crushes on Coach Hicks, which is gross to me, I don't even want to talk about that, but I tell you, they do some sort of behaving kindly, or, you know, if he says knock it off, they'll listen to him because they got his attention. I don't know. I don't want to get into ins and outs of it. All I'm saying is that it's still water time, city pool, at the lake, maybe a river, maybe you got a slip and slide or the homemade ones with the tarp, and I mean you might catch a rock or that kind of thing and scratch up your chest a little bit, but boy, you cooled off. You cooled off. One thing I'd like to do is put on a watermelon helmet. You know, I carved them up. Now, I did have the company send me a watermelon helmet. It's like a regular bike helmet or that you'd wear if you was a bike rider or a skateboarder, but it looked like a watermelon, you know, around it, like that's the design on it. But I carve up the ones out of the real watermelons, and the thing about them is that you put that on your head and your feet in a kiddie pool, buddy, you cooled off. I'm telling you, you cooled off. I got a watermelon helmet picture sent to me this week. I posted that on the Instagrams. Well, last week I posted on the Instagrams. That's when I got it sent. Thank y'all. I got some feedback. Somebody messaged me about Dwayne's banjo. Hey, Dwayne. They liked it. Good job on the banjo song that took us out last week. He did a little personalized ditty for yours truly. Appreciate you, buddy. And what else is going on? Well, it's campaign season, so the Butter Bacon shirt, 20/24, is available. And I'm just putting a link today to all. Just you go to the page. It's pages now of my shirts. From the Butter Bacon 2024. Oh, the science shirt, if you really into science, got the solar reclance shirt, got the possum peg leg shirt, the crow funyun, the town map. I got the Tavin Dillard podcast shirt. You know, a lot of folks don't know about that shirt. I had it for a while because I forget to wear it in my videos. That's not one I remember to wear in my videos. A lot of folks know about my shirts because they see it, right? But a podcast is for your ears, and then I made a podcast shirt, but nobody see it because, you don't know what shirt I'm wearing when I'm recording the audio. But in a video, you do. But I ain't been wearing that podcast shirt. But anyways, you'll see that one. And then you'll see the Bud's Burger Shed shirt. Of course, Early Bird gets the perm in a couple of different colors. Donuts for the haunches. Got that shirt. We also got Donut Goes shirt. And I think we're phasing out a couple of shirts toward the end of summer. But I'll have more on that as it gets closer. Because I ain't close to the end of summer as far as I'm concerned. Pickle Boone, got that shirt. Bank, got that shirt. A couple different colors on both of them. And I'm looking through my closet as we talk, trying to think what else we got here. Oh, then the Thunder Punch, which there's going to be some news about Thunder Punch today. Don't matter no how. I hope you're doing well. And all them shirts, they cool, they comfy, they great for picnics, barbecues, the old bike riding, family reunions, floating the river, county fairs, and more. The other thing is there's some tank tops too. So look it out. You can check them all out in the show notes. This softball season is trucking right along, and Team Burger Shed, which is the team I'm on, which I wrote a book, by the way, called Team Burger Shed about the first season of how our adult softball team came together. I'll put a link to that in the show notes too. So here's the 3 today. 4. The shirts, merchandise, that kind of thing. That's 1 link. Team Burger Shed book. That's 2. Tavin's bacon bag. That's 3. And then the personal video greetings. I've been shooting quite a few of those this week. If you got like an occasion. I did one for a baby shower, birthdays, just cheering folks up, that kind of thing. Anyhow, so there'll be a link to the personal video greetings too in the show notes. Now it's got like, if you don't need it for a few days, there's a price on that. And then if you need it tomorrow, that's a different price, you know, like a rush delivery kind of thing on that video. But I do them, and you'll see it. But anyways, what I was telling you about was Team Burger Shed. This season, we won 5 games already, and we only lost 2. So we 5-2. And we had a big old game this week against none other than Coach Hicks and his team, Thunder Punch. We already played them once earlier in the season. You might remember that. And we know they're good. We know Coach Hicks trains that team. They take an adult league softball pretty serious. A little bit to the next level in a lot of ways. More on the game in a little bit, but I got some other news today. What happened this week was that Memaw, and Tabitha Tipton, and Claudia, they all good friends, did a road trip to Branson. You know about Branson? If you don't know about Branson, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, it's like the New York or the Las Vegas, the Myrtle Beach of Missouri and the South. You know, it's a place where folks go on vacation. There's lots of entertainment there, lots of food, all kinds of things to see and look at and buy and enjoy. And they got water there too, okay? They got water in Branson, so you might want to do some swimming or jumping or diving or tubing or jet skiing or whatever kind of thing. Anyways, Mima and her gal pals, they saved some money because they had a couple shows in Branson they wanted to go to, and they was able to stay with Tabby Jean's cousin who lived just outside of Branson, you know, cut down on the cost on that way, and then the money they do save, they can spend it on them shows and things they want to see in there to get that entertainment. You know about that? Maybe you going to Branson this summer. Maybe you already been. I don't know, but it's a big place for entertainment. I like when Mima goes out of town personally because I know for sure that her and Mabel Childress ain't going to run into each other that week. So that's kind of a win right there. Memaw's 9-1 Buck Regal has been running like a champ, and that's the car they's taking on the road trip. So good thing it was running like that away. And you know what else has been running like a champ? My 93 Ford Ranger. Yeah, I got that new truck. I mean, obviously, if you know anything about years, it's not a new year because we in 2024, and I'm talking about 19 and 93. But I'll say it's new to me. I took Cricket out to fishing clips Friday come last, and Rance had music going on the patio. It's humid this time of year. If you live in the South, I ain't gonna tell you, but the humidity can be, you know, it can really slow you down. Like you walk out into that, all of a sudden you feel like you hit a brick wall, and you're like, buddy, I don't know about this. Maybe I need to time my trip a little later in the day or whatever kind of thing. But we went in the evening anyhow to fishing clips, so it cooled off a little bit the night we went. And then he don't usually do this, but Rance let me and Cricket take the pedal boat, whatever it is, the paddle boat, the boat you pedal with your feet. So you don't really use a paddle, so it's got to be a pedal boat, right? I don't know, but we took that out on the lake. And we didn't do no fishing in it. We just did a prowling. We just looking around, lots of fish awake at night, and other creatures too splashing in that water. Cricket said she'd be at our softball game this week, and she said, oh, my granddaddy, he wants to come and cheer on Team Burger Shed too. And I said, well, that's fine with me. You know, what could go wrong? Now, this road trip that Mima and her friends went on was pretty Pacific. I mean, they had it all planned out. Now, true, some of their plans was like eat lunch at a buffet, walk around shops for a while, but they had plans is what I'm saying. They knowed what they was going to do different days and about the time they wanted to do it during that day. The cousin that they stayed with had cats in the house. Mima she didn't know that going into the trip. She allergic. Mima allergic to cats. First night, she slept on a screened-in back porch on a couch, but the skaters ate her up. They found a way through that screen. You know about skaters? Skaters find a way. Then she decided to buy some allergy medicine and sleep inside. That made her mad because she didn't plan to spend some of her vacation money on allergy medicine, but she would have been miserable otherwise, so that's what she did. So they went to a show with this band that plays hits from like the 50s and the 1960s, and they really liked that. Now Claudia made her way to the stage on the floor, you know, like she right on the floor by the stage, and the feller singing the song through a scarf that he pulled from around his own neck, and Claudia caught it. Claudia caught the scarf from the fella, the lead singer, you know, in this show singing 50s and 60s hits kind of thing. They said you could trade the scarf for a bag of popcorn in the lobby if you wanted to, but Claudia wanted to keep that scarf. Kind of reminds me of our softball games. You can trade foul balls in for snow cones. I guess it's cheaper to give away a snow cone than to buy a new softball. Not sure why the music show is doing the scarf popcorn trade thing, but that really ain't my business. You know, it ain't my deal to figure out. Memaw and her pals, they had a good time, and they also found some frozen custard for dessert. So you know they winning. The second night, though, in Branson's when things took a little bit of a turn, you might say. I mean, a big turn, really. Now, I knew that Brody and Brandy Lynn Childress was going to Branson this summer. They had a trip planned with their kiddos. But main reason I knew that is because he's going to miss our softball game. What I did not know was they was taking his granny, Mabel Childress, with him. You heard that right. So imagine Memaw's surprise when her and her pals are walking around, walking actually into the comedy show. It's got like live farm animals and a full-size tractor on stage, and she sees Mabel Childress wearing a balloon hat and holding a giant bag, big old bag of kettle corn. Now, there's a couple ways this could go, maybe more, truth be told. But if everybody's on vacation and they ain't in their normal day-by-day routine, maybe they're going to be more nice. You know, maybe they're just a little bit more relaxed. They don't got to fight kind of thing. You might be thinking that Mabel ain't going to be mean because it wasn't too long ago when she was faced down at Uptown Gal's summer sale in the Arm Bar. But that ain't how Mabel works. New day, same Mabel. Well, Brandy Lynn seen Memaw, and Brandy Lynn make a beautiful 3-bean salad, by the way. And she tells Brody, her husband, to steer Mabel toward the other entrance into the auditorium, and then Brandy Lynn says hi to Memaw, Claudia, Tabby Jean, and directs them through the other entrance. So you see how this is going? They running interference on vacation because Memaw and Mabel Childress ended up at the same place. Only thing is, this show has seats that they assign to you when you buy your tickets. What that means is, don't matter what door you entered in, you're going to go to the seat that they put on your ticket. So that's what happens. Brandy Lynn helps Memaw and her pals find a seat, and it's pretty close to where Brody and Brandy Lynn's going to sit. How do I know? Because Memaw is sitting right next to Mabel Childress. They sit right next to each other and just glare. You know about glaring? Like it's a mean way to stare? Steady glaring? And, hey, listen, you and Branson ladies, you about to see a farm comedy or something. I don't know exactly. I wasn't there, but come on. It's vacation time. Relax. Don't fight. Y'all guys ain't gonna fight. Look, we having a good time here. Well, neither one of them wants to let their guard down, but pretty soon the lights go down. Mabel's munching on that kettle corn, and she kindly side-eyes Memaw. Then all of a sudden, Mabel goes to coughing. Then Mabel goes to choking. Brandy Lynn had taken one of their kiddos to the bathroom, otherwise she might be there next to Mabel to help. And Memaw realizes something ain't right with Mabel, and she smacks Mabel on the back. Probably therapeutic for Memaw too. Gets to hit Mabel Childress in the back, just smack her hard. Mabel ain't cleared yet though. Memaw stands her up just as the show starts, and she hind-lacks Mabel Childress. Strong like. I mean like 4 times the full force pressure. Stuff flies out of Mabel's mouth. She sounds like a cat trying to cough up a hairball, but she's clear. Then she takes a drink of BW Sody. That's her grandbaby. That's Brandy and Brody Lynn's little kiddo that's at the bathroom. And then she sit down. She don't say nothing to Memaw, who basically saved her life. And Memaw don't say nothing to her. Brandy Lynn comes back with the other kiddo, and everybody's just watching the show. At one point, Mabel leans that kettle corn bag over to my Memaw. She offers her some. You might think Mabel was seeing if she could get Memaw to choke too, but I don't think so. Memaw liked that kettle corn, so she took some. And apparently the farm comedy with the live animals and the full-size tractor was a big hit. They laughed and laughed and clapped and laughed, and that industrial-sized bag of kettle corn was all gone by the end of the show. And once the lights came up, Memaw waved to Mabel, and the whole family, she waved to all of them. She said, "We'll see you later." Mabel nodded back to Memaw. "I reckon we will." Memaw points to that empty bag of kettle corn. "They did a real good job on that. Good flavor." "Yeah, I reckon they did," Mabel responded. And that was that. I mean, call that what y'all want, but I can tell you what it wasn't. It wasn't a fight. And Memaw didn't run into them the rest of the trip. But I know she ate well, and I know she slept well after she got that allergy medicine. And they was really happy with the shows they picked and paid for too. Hot days for sure, but them shops got air, and so did Tabby Jean's cousin's house. Had a cat too. Meanwhile, back in town, Team Burger Shed has got a game to play. Without Brody Childress against Team Thunder Punch. Well, we was down a man against a real good team, and Cricket was bringing her granddaddy. And if you wondering if Brody and Brandy Lynn brought their Suzuki sidekick with a hole in the floorboard to Branson, no, they did not. They couldn't all fit in there, so they took their Ford Windstar up there. Anyhow, I get to the fields, and even though I got the Ford Ranger, I still like to ride my bike to the fields. I ain't in that big a rush, and the bike kind of helps me clear my mind before a game. So Cricket's granddaddy walks up to me once I'm there as I'm parking my bike behind the concession stand. He got my baseball card in his hand. You know about that? I got my own card. I ain't sure how he got it, but he got one, and he's holding a pen in the other hand. Can you sign it for me, Tavin? Of course, give it here. Well, he gave me a pen that's out of ink. And it might have been all I needed to do was scribble on another piece of paper. You know how you do that and you get the pen going and then it's going to work? But I ain't got another piece of paper and I don't want to scribble on the card till the pen starts working because I'd mess up the card. So I just tell him, "Hey, that pen ain't working." He looks at it and Cricket hears me. "Mary Beth has pens at the concession stand," she says. "You can ask her, Granddaddy." So Cricket kind of sends her granddaddy over to the concession stand and get a pen from Mary Beth Tucker. So that's what he do. He starts shuffling the concession stand and he says, "Be right back." Well, our game, it's time to go. Our game starts. And we started JT Whitlow as pitcher. And that puts Russell Tucker at second base tonight to start the game. We ain't got but two outfielders because Brody's in Branson. So Rusty Tidwell, what he's doing over at third is playing a shell of left field at the same time. Kind of two positions in one. Thunder Punch, they a good team. I told you that already. They came out swinging. Gilbert Phillips can rake. I mean, he beat up an adult bull moose, as you probably already know. His mama's Chlorine Phillips. By the end of the first inning, y'all, it was not pretty. How ugly was it, Tavin? It's 7-1 Thunder Punch by the end of the first inning. You know how sometimes, boy, they hit you in the mouth before you even know what happened? And either you regroup or you lay down, and we wasn't about to lay down. In the third, we'd locked it down for a couple innings, actually, and then we scored 3 more. So now it's 7-4, and I'm about to bat. So it's feeling a little more noble now. Rance Farnhart, he's on third base when I'm batting, and we got 2 outs. I grab that bat, I leave the dugout when I hear Cricket's granddaddy calling me. "Tavin, I got the pen now." He's holding up a marker that I guess he got from the concession stand. "Well, I got a bat right now, but I can sign it after." Oh, okay. "I'll just wait here." That's what he tells me. So I nod and I go bat. And I knew I had to come through from a team. You know, we got a runner on third and we getting closer. We creeping close to him a little bit. I spit on that first pitch, it's too high. That second pitch is all I needed. I swung a hair early. I did swing a little early, and I pulled it just over the first baseman's head, and Rance scores. Y'all know I'm a lefty. That's what you call an RBI though right there, runs batted in. That was it for that inning. We heard Coach Hicks give a pep talk in between innings. Thunder Punch got fired up. We was locked in ourselves, though. Myron was even chattering and clapping, trying to encourage us. We didn't hate it. By the last inning, it was 9-8 Thunder Punch, but we still had 3 more outs to play with. Russell Tucker gets to the plate. He just relaxes into it. Then he turns on one, and he takes it to the center field wall. A double for Russell Tucker. A single for J.T. Whitlow. Runners on second and third. Rusty Tidwell is up. I'm cheering from the dugout. Let's go, Rusty. You know, stuff like that. Rusty fouls it hard. Twice. The third pitch, he lines up, and he lines that thing over the outfield fence. Barely. Looky here. Then Myron Curtis got the ugliest single I ever seen when he hit the ball, and it went forward about 3 feet with so much backspin on that thing. It hit the ground, it spins away from the pitcher, and then kind of rolls toward first base. Well, Myron actually made it to first with no throw, and then Rance Farnhart makes him pay with a double. Long story longer, we beat Team Thunder Punch 11-10 when it was all said and done. Now we 6-2 on the season. 6 wins to 2 losses. How about that? And this is one of the best teams. I mean, that's just how it goes sometimes. You a man down to the best team and you find a way to win. I was ready for that snow cone, but not before Cricket's granddaddy made sure he got that autograph. I signed it, and we walked back over to the concession stand to return that pin and get my free snow cone. And they ran out of cherry tonight, but I went for watermelon anyway. Tasted like a win to me. Hey, y'all guys, that's how it's going in town for me. Team Burger Shed's winning. Memaw's doing all right, starting to win. You know, going on vacation was a win for her, and not getting in a fight was a win for everybody. So thanks for joining me today, y'all guys. I mentioned all that's going on in the show notes. You can check them for the merch, for the Team Burger Shed book, for the bacon bag, for the personal video greetings. Check them show notes for all that. And hey, if you ain't had to get hind-legged by my Memaw at a comedy farm show in Branson with live animals and a full-size tractor this week, you having a pretty good week. Me, I'm Tavin Dillard. This is the Tavin Dillard Podcast. Till next time, y'all guys. We'll see you later.